Welcome to the SBI Podcast, offering CEOs, sales and marketing leaders ideas to make the number.
Welcome SBI listeners, readers, and viewers. My name is Greg Alexander, and I am the CEO of SBI, a management consulting firm specializing in sales and marketing, dedicated to helping you make your number. This is the weekly SBI podcast, and its purpose is to help you make your number by getting your peers to share with you how they make theirs. Today's guest is Kim Salem-Jackson, and she is the Senior Vice President of Worldwide Field Marketing at Informatica, the world's #1 provider of data integration software with over 5,000 customers. Kim, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Greg. Glad to be here.
Okay, today's topic is field marketing. Kimberly has 15 years of experience in this discipline and lots to share with this audience. We're going to use SBI's revenue growth methodology to guide our conversation today, specifically pages 144 and 145. If you still don't have a copy of this and you want one, you can go to salesbenchmarkindex.com/2016 report. Kimberly, let me begin by getting your views on a few things. So my first question is, what role does field marketing play when it sits between corporate marketing and field sales?
Sure. So I think of field marketing as really that strategic bridge between the two groups and the forcing function behind the alignment. So at Informatica, it's been a wonderful partnership, so much so that we've now got corporate marketing and 100% aligned with the field's needs. And basically, if what they're doing isn't supporting us in field marketing and sales, they don't want to do it. So I think field marketing sitting in the middle of the two groups has been a great bridge to make sure everyone's aligned on the bottom line, which is revenue.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, we're big advocates of this concept of strategic alignment, particularly in sales and marketing. And we think without it in today's world, chances of hitting the revenue number are pretty low. And I think the bridge there, kind of the connective tissue between marketing and sales, particularly corporate to the field, is this field marketing group. So it was great to hear you answer that way and confirm our beliefs. My next question is regarding objectives. So for those that are listening to this that maybe don't have field marketing, or maybe unfortunately in the last few years, due to budget cuts, it's been reduced and they're now with better economic prospects in front of them, building up field marketing again. What should the goals of the field marketing team be?
Very simple. Drive pipeline and accelerate revenue for sales. I always say that's why I get up in the morning. And then working at a data company, obviously I think of my team as data-driven marketers. So we really focus on return on investment, or I think of my team as portfolio managers. So if you give us $1 to spend, my job is to deliver X in return in pipeline for sales.
Fantastic. I mean, a marketer after my own heart. You wake up every day thinking about pipeline and revenue. I spent my entire career in sales, and I've met a few marketers who don't think that way, and the ones that do think that way became dear friends of mine. So what a great answer.
We'll be friends, Greg. We'll be good friends.
Okay. Let's talk about initiatives of field marketing. You know, I see very different things happening in very different shops, and it comes down to who drives the initiatives. Are the initiatives coming from corporate? Are they coming from the CMO's office? Are they coming from the head of sales? Are they coming from the field? So at Informatica, who drives the initiatives that field marketing takes on?
Sure, it's absolutely a balance. So I like to say we take an outside-in view. So of course we look at the market first, right? So what's the total addressable market? What's the opportunity? Then we look at historical success patterns, right? Where have we been successful? Where have we had challenge? And then we align that to our corporate strategy and message. So I think there's multiple facets to the strategy and the model, and it's definitely led between marketing, between corporate and sales. Not one group can lead the charge. You got to look at multiple pieces of the puzzle.
Okay, so the field marketing team is taking inputs from multiple different, functions within the company, and then that leads into your plan for the year, which is my next question, which is, You're the leader of this field marketing team. I'm sure you have, since you're data-driven, I'm sure you have an annual operating plan for your department. So how do you build that?
Sure. I mean, you took the words out of my mouth. We use data, first of all, and we align to our corporate objectives. So we know the markets, we know the market opportunity, we understand the historical performance, we look at the growth rates, we look at our return on investment, our ROI, so we know where we've developed the best yield on our spend. And then we take all those data points and we build the go-to-market model. So it's 100% aligned with the corporate objectives, the sales objectives, and we have clear line of sight to hit our revenue and our pipeline targets because we looked at what's worked historically and what we need to do again in the future.
Right. So for those that are listening in the audience, what you didn't hear in Kim's answer is we just respond to the random request from sales.
I call it concierge service marketing, and I don't like that. I think you have to lead using data, and sales has a full-time job to sell. Yep. They don't need to tell marketing what to do. So I like to use the data and the market and the performance to guide those decisions.
Yeah, I love that term. Say that again, concierge services marketing?
Yeah, concierge service marketing. It's when, someone's just an order taker. Yep. Go do an event, go do this, go do that. Right. That's not marketing.
Right. I agree. So for those of you who maybe have an underdeveloped field marketing organization, listen to what you're hearing from Kimberly today. I mean, Informatica values it so much that she's a senior vice president. I mean, that's how strategic the role is. All right, this has all been very helpful to get started. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to dive into some more specific details, particularly around how you partner with the field sales organization. So stick around after the break. You are listening to the SBI Podcast.
Do you have too many things to do and not enough time to do them? Is finding time to learn best practices almost impossible? The SBI Podcast is your solution. Turn time spent exercising, commuting, and traveling into productive learning time with a subscription to the SBI Podcast. SBI Podcast listeners get unique insight into real-world sales and marketing issues through interviews with your industry peers every week. Find us on iTunes by searching for Sales Benchmark Index Podcast and subscribe today.
Welcome back, listeners and viewers. My name is Greg Alexander, and I'm the CEO of SBI. My guest today is Kim Salem-Jackson, the Senior Vice President of Field Marketing and Enterprise Software Provider Informatica. Today we are discussing the impact a great field marketing team can have on your company. We're using our revenue growth method to do it, specifically pages 144 and 145. Pick up a copy at salesbenchmarkindex.com/2016 report. Before the break, in segment 1, Kim shared with us the role of field marketing and how a plan comes together. During this segment, we're going to discuss how field marketing can partner with field sales. So Kimberly, how does your field marketing team, particularly the people that are in your organization, how do they partner with field sales?
Sure. Well, I think of us as business partners to sales, right? And making sure they have a seat at the table for helping with, all the decisions that sales needs to make. And it's really our job. I think of us as shepherds of the overall pipeline, right? So my field marketers watch the health of the overall business and then ensure marketing delivers on their piece of it. So at Informatica, that's 40% of the pipeline. So our job to partner, to measure performance, to be accountable, working with the sales organization. And so much so, Greg, we actually sit in sales. So last year, the field marketing organization was moved out of the corporate marketing team and into the sales organization. Wow. So that's how close our alignment is.
That's incredible. In fact, that's the first time I've heard that, and got to be a couple years. So you left, they reorged you out of corporate marketing into field sales. Was the rationale behind that, the logic, because they wanted those two organizations to work better together, or what was the stimulus of that move?
Yeah, it was really around just continuing the tight alignment between field sales. And for me, it was like going home because we always worked so much with the sales organization. It felt like a fit, perfect fit. And the nice byproduct of that is it became another forcing function for us to work even closer with corporate marketing. Because when you're within the same organization, you almost take it for granted that you're aligned. And now we have more forcing functions and meetings to ensure that 100% alignment between field sales and corporate marketing. So it's a refreshing org change.
Yeah, no question. I love it. All right, my next question is, how do you balance the need to be, quote unquote, on message with corporate, but allow for the regional differences that are required in the field, especially for somebody like you that is truly a global enterprise?
Yeah. So it basically goes back to my days in public relations. It's like a pyramid, right? So the headline and the top line message should always be consistent and always be aligned to sales, right? That's the story we all tell. And then as you kind of go down the message and down that pyramid, then you start to tailor it to suit the regional needs of the markets we serve. So everyone has the same headline, the same storyline. And then as that dialogue continues, that's when we customize it to address regional market needs and customers.
Mm-hmm. You know, that's another refreshing example. I have some of my clients that corporate says, this is the message, and God help you if you deviate from it. And I don't care if you're telling that message in Panama or New York City, it's the same message, which is crazy. I mean, things have to be localized and regionalized. So I think your balancing act there of, you know, there's the headline and then there's the versions of the headline that get shared in the local market.
Right.
All right.
Yeah, it's worked effectively.
Yep. Okay, let's talk about collecting field level input and funneling that back to corporate for constant improvement. So how do you guys do that?
Sure. I mean, it's back to the basics, nothing fancy. And again, by sitting in sales, we create more reasons to engage with our corporate marketing. So we just set up a standing cadence of communication and measurement checkpoints. We call them operational reviews. And once a quarter, we do a debrief on performance, what's working, what's not, and what we need from the corporate team to better support our needs in the field. And they do the same. So it's just having that standard review of the health of your business. And some report outs that we do to ensure alignment and closed loop reporting.
Okay, very cool. Operational reviews, bidirectional. That's another great example. Okay, my last question in this segment is, what role does field marketing play in the sales enablement program? Do you guys have sales enablement there, and do you partner with them, or is that part of the field marketing role?
No, we have a formal sales enablement group, also resides in sales. And, you know, our role in it is just real-time feedback. So field marketers are on the front line with customers, with prospects, with partners in sales. So, again, our role is to really share what we're seeing on the street, what we're hearing, and how to better equip our sales organization to address those customer needs. So we just become an instrumental voice in sharing what our sales reps need to be more effective in working with our customers, partners, and prospects.
Okay, very good. All right, listen up, marketers. If you don't know the answers to these questions, you better find out quickly. If you want to convert your marketing budget into revenue, get with the field marketing team and share Kim's advice. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to wrap all this up in a nice bow and an action plan for you. You are listening to the SBI Podcast.
Making your number is hard. Your problems are complex. Complex problems need complex solutions. Introducing the SBI Magazine. Read in-depth stories written by award-winning journalists about how your peers have overcome their problems to make the numbers. When you need more than a tweet, social post, or blog article, turn to the SBI Magazine. Go to salesbenchmarkindex.com to subscribe.
Welcome back, listeners and viewers. This is Greg Alexander, and I'm the CEO of SBI. My guest today is Kim Salem-Jackson. Today we are discussing the impact of field marketing. In segment 1, we discussed the role field marketing can and should play. In segment 2, we discussed how field marketing and field sales can and should work together. And what we learned about Informatica is they're actually one and the same. They have recently reorged and they sit in the same organization. This is segment 3, our last segment. So let's offer the audience some advice on how they can use what they learned today. So Kim, if I was to put you on the spot here and ask you for 3 actions an audience member can take immediately to be successful with field marketing, what would they be?
Sure. I would say action 1 is lead, don't follow. So use data to drive decisions and help sales know where to look, right? As we talked about, selling is a full-time job. The last thing they need to do is to tell marketing how to do their job. The second bit of advice I would be is to align. So let field marketing be the forcing function to bring all the key stakeholders together, from sales, marketing, and products, to ensure, as SBI always says, you hit most revenue shortest amount of time. And then last but not least, I would say, learn, share, and scale. So as a team, do those reviews, capture successes and celebrate them so you can repeat them. Learn from the failures so you don't make the same mistake twice, and create that kind of collaboration environment of learning, because I think we all take for granted that everyone knows what the other's doing. So by creating those sharings of best practices and failures, I think that's the secret to our success and to get global scale and impact on the best field marketing programs that we run.
3 great pieces of advice. All right, let me offer the audience my 2 cents, if I can. If you are selling big ticket items to enterprise class customers, you better have a great field marketing program. The world is obsessed with digital marketing, and rightfully so. However, people buy from people, and there is no substitute for FaceTime. And the team that increases FaceTime through events and other tactics is the field marketing team. So be careful not to overfund the latest digital tactic and underfund the field marketing team. So if you find yourself trying to market to senior executives in enterprise companies, do what Kim does and be best in class at this discipline called field marketing. If you want to make sure you get this right, consider having one of our experts help you with this. For sometimes it's a lot harder than you might think. Go to salesbenchmarkindex.com/contact and we'll send somebody out to you if you want to meet with someone. Kim, on behalf of our audience, thank you for letting me interview you today.
Thank you, Greg, for the opportunity.
Okay, and I need to take a moment to thank this exceptional audience. This show has become #1 in its category. Thank you for all of your support. To show our appreciation, we've invested in the new SBI app. We want to make it as easy as possible to consume our material, so we developed the SBI app just for you. This way, our educational content does not get lost in a sea of email. When something new comes out, we send you a push notification, and all you have to do is click. Check it out at the Apple Store. Until next time, I wish you good luck as you try and make your number.
This has been the SBI Podcast. For more information on SBI services, case studies, the SBI team and how we work, or to subscribe to our other offerings, please visit us at salesbenchmarkindex.com.